best ship to start Star Citizen with is not a starter ship. Yeah, I just said that. If you're watching this video, I'm assuming you're new and you're trying to figure out what ship to buy to start the game with. Great news, I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you so much you don't even realize yet. I am going to tell you the things I wish to God someone had told me before I started playing Star Citizen, and certainly before I bought a game package. Now, first and foremost, if you're a new player, you're thinking about buying Star Citizen, don't. Not yet, at least. Something you want to understand about this is that the game is not finished yet, and from patch to patch, the state of the game may change drastically. Before you get into Star Citizen, if you haven't played it yet at all, you want to check videos, you want to check forums, you want to check the news on this and find out what the state of the game currently is. Because whenever they implement a large new feature, it breaks the game typically. There have been entire patch cycles where the game was basically unplayable for months, and if you were to come in during that type of period, you would hate it so much. A couple times a year, they do Freefly events. These are times when it's actually free just to jump into the game and play it and check it out for yourself and see if you're going to like it. That's how I personally came into the game, and that's fine. If you've played a Freefly and you like it, go right ahead. If you haven't played the game at all ever, I recommend doing some research before you purchase the game. If you're not new and you're watching this, you're probably watching it for entertainment. You may not agree with me, and that's fine. I'm okay with that. But before you get in the comments and start saying something crazy, do me another favor instead. If you're a veteran player, get in the comments and leave your best tips for new players in the comments. Let's make this a forum. Let's help people out. If it's in your soul to help other players get started in the game, leave a tip in the comments. So back to you new players. What even is a starter ship? The starter ships is basically the classic ships that make up the lowest cost, lowest tier ship level. And these are generally the ships that people buy when they start the game because they're the cheaper ships and everyone tells you these are the starter ships. And yeah, that's kind of true. And they're more or less cheap enough. But none of these are really good ships to start the game with, unfortunately. And you're probably agonizing over this. You probably watched quite a few videos already and people have told you, oh, this is the best starter ship, that's the best starter ship. And every time a new starter ship comes out, because they come out one at a time, everybody jumps on it and says, hey, this is the best new starter ship. So there's a lot of confusion out there. Don't agonize over the choice of what starter ship to get. Let me give you a hint here. If you buy a ship and you decide you don't like it, you can always upgrade that ship later. So this is not a life or death situation. You don't have to kill yourself trying to decide what starter ship to get. For like an extra like 15 bucks, you can always upgrade your ship a month or two later if you want to. Don't sweat it too hard. Another issue you face when you're trying to figure out what starter ship to get is all these YouTube videos you find. Everyone's going over all these details and specs on these starter ships. And yes, things like components make a difference. The size of the ship makes a difference. But if you're a new player getting into the game, you don't know what any of this means. And so all these specs, all of this information, it's all completely boring and fucking useless because you haven't played the game yet. You don't know the ships. And so I'm going to tell you what to do here. Kind of. I mean, live your own life, make your own decisions. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm not going to tell you what to do with your money. But I'm certainly going to tell you what not to do. So along those lines, I am not going to bore you with all kinds of specs on each of these ships. I'm not going to tell you which of these ships does what or what their names are. None of that stuff. The specs, it gets really old really fast. It's boring. Suffice it to say that I have flown or owned every ship in the game. I've been around a bit, okay? And I've found something out about all of these. And it's this. If you begin the game with one of these starter ships, you will not be playing Star Citizen very long before the ship you chose begins to hold you back in your gameplay. And as a result of that, you may begin to resent your ship a little bit, no matter how good it is. Let's take, for example, this ship, the Anvil C8X Pisces. This is the best ship in the game. For real, it's the best ship in the game. Well, that must make it the best starter ship, right? No, this is a terrible starter ship. But everyone loves it nonetheless. I wouldn't recommend starting the game with this ship. The base level packages are the Mustang and the Aurora because they're the cheapest ships. Neither of these are good starter ships. These ships are both basically completely obsolete at this point. The Mustang especially. I don't care how much you want to be a fighter pilot. I promise you, you do not want to start this game in a fighter. You will regret that decision. You will rue it bitterly. If it cost is a factor and you have to get the absolute dirt dog cheapest ship there is, then yeah, get the Aurora. That's fine. And once you get an extra 15 bucks in your pocket, upgrade to something else. So where's all this going? What's my point? I'm going to get to that right now. The best ship to start Star Citizen with, even after all these years, is the Drake Cutlass Black. I know what you're thinking, holy shit, Dr. C, that's an expensive game package. And yeah, it kind of is to start with. It's a bit of a gamble, a bit of a roll of the dice. But there's a payoff on it, I promise you. The Drake Cutlass Black is the most versatile ship in the game. It really is. There are other good ships in this class. It's a medium-sized ship, and there are other very good ships in this class, but this one just does things a little different than the rest do. What that comes down to, again, is its versatility. In Star Citizen, unless you're doing some laser-focused task, for which there are many ships that have a specific purpose, other than that, in Star Citizen, versatility is king. There's a Freefly event going on as the time I'm making this video, and during this event, you can fly the C1 Spirit. A lot of people are going to say in the comments, the C1 Spirit is a great ship. It is. I had one for a long time. I loved the C1 Spirit. I still do. It's not as versatile as the Drake Cutlass Black. It just isn't. The Drake Cutlass Black is just better for a lot more gameplay loops. The Drake Cutlass Black is a multi-tool for gameplay loops. The C1 Spirit, it's a cargo hauler that can do a few other things okay. The Drake does everything pretty good. It doesn't do any one thing really well. It does a lot of things pretty good. And that makes it the best ship to start this game with. I wish someone had told me that before I started playing the game. I got into a regular starter ship, the one everyone said was the best starter ship. I don't want to say which one that is, but I wasn't playing very long before I began to hate it, and I saved up for the Drake Cutlass Black, and back then the Drake Cutlass Black was only 1.1 mil, but it was still a slog trying to get enough money to buy into it. And when I first got into that ship, I got behind the wheel of it, I flew that ship for a few hours, and it felt like I had grown a pair of wings. Like I felt like I'd been set free in the game. And this isn't just nostalgia talking. I'm not saying this just because I felt great about the ship once upon a time. Again, I've been through all the ships, and for a long time, even though I had dozens and dozens of ships, the Cutlass Black still was a daily driver for me. It's a great ship. Full chest, I do recommend starting the game with this ship. Not everyone can drop this kind of cash on a ship. If you're trying to get into the game at the lowest cost possible, buy an Aurora. If you've got a little more money to spend, I recommend the Drake Cutter. It's a reasonably priced ship. A lot of people are currently saying that the Intrepid, which is the newest starter ship, is the best starter ship in the game. Not for no fucking 80 bucks it ain't. And for the record, you don't actually have to buy any ships for real money in Star Citizen. You can buy all of these ships in game. You can earn them. But a few months back, they changed the prices of all these ships and everything costs more now because they said they wanted the economy to have more bite. So the purchase of this ship in game is almost 2.2 million credits. For a new player, that's going to be a soulless grind trying to get that kind of cash together. Unless you have friends in the game already who can help you out, which I'm sure they can. If you want to play the game and you want to grind it out, that's because that's how you have fun, then go for it. I'm not telling you not to do that. I am giving you a warning though, that if you think like, oh, I'll just get in and make some friends, like there are no community management tools in Star Citizen whatsoever. The only thing you have is the chat. And the chat can actually be quite helpful. I shit you not. If you get into the chat in Star Citizen and say, hey, can I have 100K? People will just start giving you money. It's easy enough sometimes. But if you don't care to slog it out and you can drop this kind of wad on this, then go for it. Buy the ship. If you're going to buy Star Citizen and you feel like this video really helped you out in some way, or if you just liked it, when you sign up for the game, use my referral code. You'll get some extra free credits to help start the game with. I'll get some free credits to start the game with. At certain times of the year for certain promotions, they'll give away free ships. And we all want free stuff. It does us both a favor. So, if you can splash the cash, if you can spread the bread, if you can spam the clams, if you can blow the dough, if you can chuck the bucks, if you can spill the bills, if you can squeeze the cheese, if you can spray the pay, or if you have fare to spare, then the Drake Cutlass Black is the best ship to start Star Citizen with. Otherwise, just buy the cutter. Be sure to tell me how stupid I am in the comments. If you like this video, give it a like. It helps me out. If you don't like this video, I don't know what to tell you, man. You're an asshole. But just remember, I'm not a real doctor.